Many people on the African continent have resorted to self-medication to treat COVID-19 symptoms. Most prefer using concoctions made from ginger and garlic with a combination of antibiotics to treat their infections. But as CGTNs Enock Sikolia reports, some are finding out the hard way that remedies and drugs being sold over the counter could be worsening their conditions.
In the outskirts of Kenya's capital, Nairobi, Emmanuel Atamba and his wife, Mercy Atamba, are tending to their small garden farm. A venture they started days after recovering from COVID-19.
What we went through was really terrible. It was very scary.
The experience with the coronavirus began after they started exhibiting COVID-19 symptoms. Subsequent laboratory tests only confirmed their fears.
And we went into treatment, the whole house. Of course, the kids were also showing symptoms. But the basic medication, of course, what they say, you take the ginger, lemon, garlic, and turmeric. That is really what really helped us a lot in the initial phase. We were also given immune boosters.
Placed under home-based care, Atamba relied on recommendations from recovered patients. One drug was heavily mentioned, azithromycin.
When I went to the doctor, I asked what I can use. They also recommended the same, and they said if you have chest pains, you use azithromycin. But of course, there was really not much information exactly about how to use the drug, how much of the drugs to use. It was just one tablet per day, but not clear for how many days.
This nearly cost the life of his wife after 10 days of drug taking.
She started feeling weak, she had a headache, she became dizzy, and she was really struggling to breathe. And it was very scary because we opened the windows and it couldn't work. We went outside with her, sat outside with her, it still could not work.
Atamba decided to rush his wife to hospital. He feared that COVID-19 may have damaged his wife's lungs. But he will come to learn that her problem was not caused by COVID-19, but the drug that she used. She was simply showing symptoms of azithromycin overdose.
And he asked me, had she finished the dose? And then I was surprised because I didn't even know there was a dose.
Azithromycin is a 3-day dosage drug supposed to be administered by a qualified physician, but the family had bought theirs over the counter at a local chemist. Experts say self-medication is a practice that is on an upward trend on the African continent, especially during the pandemic. The Kenya Pharmacy and Poisons Board says self-medication is leading many not to having proper medical advice when needed. And some practitioners warn that self-medication could create a bigger problem in the future.
We are having a situation where diseases that could be treated by simple antibiotics, the antibiotics no longer work.
Doctors in Africa say a majority of COVID-19 patients placed under home-based care usually opt for self-medication once they exhibit flu-like symptoms, only to have their conditions worsen.
COVID-19 is a virus. Antibiotics are not indicated in the virus situation. The instance when we use azithromycin is specific. Doctors understand what it's being used for in particular cases, not for every single case of COVID-19.
With COVID-19 still spreading across the African population, doctors are advising anyone with symptoms to seek medical advice first before embarking on any treatment. Enock Sikolia, CGTN, Nairobi, Kenya.